Tonight, episode 230 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, our Bears preview, college football preview, and the TCF Top 3 Carnival. Let's roll. Hello and welcome back to Typical Chicago Fans, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. We are back for episode 230. It has been a while. It is the middle of August, August 12th. Our last episode we put out was the 4th of July. Been a busy month or so, but we are back. Make sure you can find us on X at typical_Chicago. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. Give those pages a like as well. For all of our content in video form, we are on YouTube. Type in Typical Chicago Fans, hit the red subscribe button there. Wherever you get your podcasts, we are there as well. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Pod. Actually, I think Google Podcasts shut down, but I think it's on YouTube Music now. But you can find us there. Subscribe, rate, review, 5 stars, whatever you can do. That's where you can find us. You can find me on X at BoomyTCF. And, of course, the man that I'm joined with tonight, that is Zach at ZLiliaTCF. Zach, it's been over a month, man. It feels good to be back.
Yeah, a little vacation time. We had some stuff going on. We had weddings, vacation, golfing a lot. So Boomy's kind of back to work soon. And I'm done with my vacation per se. And so we're back to the podcast. It's been too beautiful outside to not go golfing every single night until it gets dark. And then you don't even think about doing the podcast. But yeah, it's been a month. So we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, we're getting as much golf in as we can, and you know, the little guy wants to go out on a long day.
But yeah, it's been a while, but a lot has happened since we last did our podcast.
And we'll try and not like dump everything into like 1-2 hour episode. We plan on being back next week, if not sooner. So a lot of things to catch up on. Obviously, Maddie is not here. We'll get Maddie back here soon. Make sure you follow him at schools_01. But like Zach said, that kind of brings me into our sinkers and floaters. My sinker being vacation's over. School starts this week. First day with kids, new job this year. So back to social studies for me. Institute Wednesday, Thursday, kids come Friday, new room, new town, new school, new everything. So
not really new town. I mean, you grew up here.
Back to work after. Yeah, new town I'm teaching in is what I meant. But no, and then also I kind of had a dual sinker with going back to work after 2.5-ish months off. Back injuries. Since our last episode was recorded, I have herniated discs in my back twice on 2 separate occasions.
A bed took him down.
The bed took me down the first time. I have no idea what took me down the second time, but yeah, it hasn't been a fun summer with that. Got a chiropractor bill literally laying right there that I got to take care of tomorrow. So I think we're back headed in the right direction, but knock on wood, man. It's not been a fun month as far as injuries have gone.
My sinker just happened this morning. Well, this morning per se. Matt Kuchar, the only guy on the whole tour, well, whatever, their whole tour is not at this. It's the Wyndham Classic, I think it is. The whole tour is not there, but he was the only one that did not finish. He teed off on hole 18 and said it was too dark to finish. Everyone else finished but him. He came back this morning, hit 2 shots, tied for 12th, and didn't make the FedEx Cup playoff for the first time in a long time. And he made everyone get there, and there was like probably 10, 15 people in the crowd. I don't really know if they were just there for fun. And then you've always heard he's not like the best with money per se. He's got $60 million he's made in his career. But I'm just not a fan of Matt Kuchar. And to do that, it's just like, dude, come on. And then he was like, I'm trying to teach the young kids that if you don't want to play in dangerous situations. Dude, it was like the sun was still like kind of out. Come on.
And also it's golf.
It's it's 2 shots. It's 2 shots.
Not even that. It's getting dark out. It's golf. It's not like someone's throwing a 90-mile-an-hour fastball at you.
You're not
Right?
in
It's golf.
war. You're not in a war.
Yeah, exactly.
You're playing golf at an amazing golf course where usually when you're on hole 18, you can see the clubhouse, so the lighting helps that way anyways. Finish up, dude. I could see if that shot meant maybe like first place, but dude, come on.
And also in that same breath, dude, like maybe someone needs to do a little investigative journalism on if everything's all right at the Kuchar household, because maybe he just didn't want to go home for another day like that.
I think he just really thought maybe if I do well enough, I get $50,000 extra. Maybe I don't know. I think he's just one of those guys that is annoying.
Yeah,
I mean, these guys are so rich.
Like, it'd be one thing
they're not really. They don't really. I wouldn't say, like, not really in reality. Like, they don't care.
Yeah. Well, not like you said. Like, if there was like 5 or 6 guys that it was, a couple groups, then and they all decided no, but literally one person.
He was the only one.
Come on, dude. What are we doing here?
And he's trying to make a point. It's like, dude, get over it.
Yeah, and also at the end of the day, it's golf. Like, let's chill out a little bit. And we love golf. We're big golf guys, but
golf.
Let's chill out.
But I also know it's a very laid back sport in a way.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Moving on to my floater is vacation. We recorded our last episode the day before I left on vacation. Me and my wife spent 7 days driving around the southeast portion of this country. We drove to New Orleans and then kind of through Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, did a night in Memphis on our way down to New Orleans. New Orleans was one of the few cities, and we went there because it was one of the few cities I hadn't been to. Incredible city. I love the history of it, but just a good time. And obviously, we've talked, I love seafood, and I think I ate nothing but seafood for 7 straight days. Went to a couple minor league games, stayed at some semi-questionable hotels, but no, we had a great time. I think we drove 2,700 miles in 7 days. I think it was something like that. So, yeah, it was just a great week all around. That was right after we recorded the last episode.
Yeah, that's one of those things you look back and you're like, I just wish I could do that every week of my life. But unfortunately, we have to work. Just kind of doesn't make sense. Like, how awesome would it be to just travel the world and that's all you had to do? Yeah, vacation is so much fun, but then when you get back, it's like, man, I have a whole year until the next vacation.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's the come down is brutal. Post vacation blues.
It's almost like come off a drug addict. Just like you get home, you're like, man, I have to go to work. Like I can't sit around all day. I have to do something. I have to be productive. I mean, I'm used to like doing literally nothing for a week and a half.
Yeah, time just not existing, and then you have to like go to places, and it's also different when you have a 1-year-old at home too.
I get 2 weeks off in July, and it's like you go golfing, you do this, you do that, and the next thing you know, it's like Monday, and you got to go to work, and you're like, you mean I can't go golfing at like noon on a Tuesday? Yeah, it takes 2 weeks to get into a rhythm. It seems brutal. Like. But my floater is football. Football is back. People love football. Football brings people together, I say. There's still preseason. I think next week starts college football, week 0 maybe. And then we've got at least some sort of football until like February. Yeah. It's back, baby. Preseason, what was that, like August 2nd? The Bears played the Hall of Fame game, but yeah, it's back. Yeah, they got their first real preseason game. We'll get more into that. Teams are starting to play. We got Thursday night. We got some Sunday night. I don't think they do Monday Night Football in preseason. I don't know. But in general, football is back. I love baseball. I can watch baseball, but I need some football. I've said it a million times. Baseball is like the perfect background sport. Yeah, it's like that's why you get multiple TVs. You can watch football, and then you can have baseball in the background. Like, oh, there's the Cubs. Yeah.
Exactly. Baseball gets moved to the second and third TV real quick.
You just realize football is king.
I would disagree there, but
what is king?
Basketball, 100%.
No
100%.
No, that's the stupidest thing you've ever said.
No. And I know that there's no metrics, there's no ratings that I can use. It's just what I prefer.
No, I'm just saying in general, football is so much more bigger than basketball
because there's only 18 or 17 weeks.
And then we play in general. It's just football takes over the world.
Yeah.
That's crazy that you think that
basketball than football. That's all I was saying.
No chance. Because regular season basketball is just not there.
This also coming from a guy who watched probably at least half of 60 of the 82 Bulls games this year.
That's fine. I watched the Bulls all season, but I'm just saying in general, like a lot of these teams aren't trying every night. Like you can't say.
Yeah, I don't disagree there. It's just my personal preference.
Yeah, but that's just to think that they're even close is crazy.
Mm-hmm. I was just saying what I prefer.
Yeah, that's what you should have preferenced that. Is that right?
Yeah, you're right. I should have prefaced that, but
I didn't know if I said that right.
Speaking of the other sports, we'll jump into the TCF Sports Minute here. We got the Cubbies, 59-60, about to be 59-61. They're down 8-4 to the Guardians right now.
Got time.
Yeah, well, either way, 9 games back as of right now out of first place, but 3 games out of the wild card.
8-7.
Top of the 7. Gee. I literally, as you were talking, I Googled Cubs because I am using my phone now.
I'll throw it on the background so we can we'll bring it up. But
yeah, that's
sorry.
It was literally 8-4 60 seconds ago when I Googled it. So, yeah, 3 games out of the wild card. But I mean, here's the thing, and this is the question I had posed. Can this team make a run? Yes, I think this team can make a run and be the 3rd wild card. Do I think this team is good enough to make a run in the playoffs? Anything can happen, but my gut tells me no. This team is not
hard to get out of the wild card when you're that 3rd spot.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, man. I just don't see it, and I hate to be Debbie Downer here, but like this team has just been so inconsistent. And this is tough saying because they're in a spot where they're playing good baseball right now, but
they're playing pretty well. And we have not done a podcast since Morel got traded.
Yeah,
I think that was a great trade. I love Morel. He's one of the nicest Cubs that ever played. He was such a nice guy, but you can't let that get in the way of. I always say his name wrong.
Also, here's a weird complaint. Why is Isaac Paredes? It's Isaac.
Whatever. He's going to be good for the long haul, and he's going to be a good third baseman for a while. And that was a great trade. Say what you want about Morel. He just was not fit to play third base every single day for a team that wants to win playoff games.
Yep. You're 100% right. It sucked to see him go because he was so fun to watch when he was good. But
you never know. One day he can be back with the Cubs. I think they have that relationship. He was drafted, I think, at like 16 or 17 by the Cubs.
He wasn't drafted. It was like a what's it called?
It's like scouting in a way.
Yeah.
But
it sucks to see him leave, but that's the right move.
And Paredes, he's never hit a home run to the opposite field. That's insane. Like, I don't even know how that's real.
That's wild.
Every home run has been one direction. And it's not
even
close.
Full side, and he's another guy who came up with the Cubs. Paredes came up with the Cubs and was traded a couple years back. So I don't know, man. Do you think realistically, I think here's what's going to happen. I think they're going to give us interesting baseball for the month of September, which I'm okay with. But I feel like this team's going to fall short of making that last wild card spot anyway.
Yeah, it all depends on the bullpen.
And I mean, easy schedule. I keep trying to I keep talking myself back into it.
The Cubs played last week. They played Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, had Thursday off, played Friday, Saturday, then had Sunday off.
Stupid.
Never heard of a Sunday off for the Chicago Cubs or
anybody.
And then they play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then they have Thursday off again, play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then have Monday off again.
Yeah. Weird scheduling.
But they play a lot of teams below 500. So if they can't just make that wild card spot, they never deserved it, because they're getting so much opportunity right now to win that wild card spot. I mean, a few White Sox game too. Hector Neris, my goodness, they call him a heart attack Hector for a reason.
Facts.
Oh my God, that was crazy.
Facts, dude. They're not kidding at all. Speaking of the White Sox, 28-91. The winning or the winless streak is over. Worst team in baseball.
Out of
baseball fired.
Don't understand why. I think that was one of the dumbest firings of all time. What's the point?
Yeah,
I understand you want to get a new guy in there, but they were making it sound like Grady Sizemore is not even going to be the coach next year.
Yeah,
so what's the point of? So then you're bringing in another guy you have to pay. Like, what did he do that was so bad? Oh yeah, they sucked. So we're gonna wait. I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah, it's such a typical White Sox move. Like, it doesn't, unless it's literally just to like prove a point that you do fire coaches mid-season, but like
it makes no sense.
It doesn't. And also, you brought this up when we were golfing the other day. I am so annoyed with all the people that are like, Grady Sizemore took a $15 an hour internship 3 years ago because he made $40 million in his baseball career.
He should have done it for free.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, it's easy to take a $15 an hour internship when you've got $20 million in the bank, dude.
Yeah, like really, come on. I'm not saying it wasn't like he didn't want to be a coach and like that's cool, but like, don't give me this sob story that you like, man, what a guy.
Yeah, that drove me. I didn't even see it until you pointed it out, and then I literally saw it like the next morning.
Bad.
No, I mean, I think that's like minimum wage or more than minimum wage in a lot of places. So, and like you said, though, the guy made millions of dollars playing baseball. So I don't think it's a bad hire. I think that it's definitely in the swing of things of like guys who used to be players. I mean, you see it on the North. David Ross, Craig Counsell.
They can win every single game the rest of the season. They're not even be close to the wild card.
Well, the big thing now is like the watch to see if they're going to be the worst.
Yeah, the worst team. Why not just keep Pedro? It made no sense.
Yeah, unless there was like more stuff in the clubhouse and like disagreement with management like that, I could see that. Like if guys really like with having the stuff that they're at of like
him at the beginning of the season, if there was
I understand, but like I'm saying, if you're bringing in, you're to the point now where they've traded all those guys after the deadline, and they're bringing in guys to see if like they're gonna, if there's something there for the next level. Like if there's a manager who has no respect amongst the players, and that the clubhouse is just an absolute utter chaotic disaster, then yes,
it's not his first year though. That would have been a problem, and that they would have just. Now they're going to get rid of him because of it. Like you should have done at the beginning of the season if you knew all this stuff. If it was so bad.
I don't, but also in the same, it was only done with 1 year, and it's not like he was a guy that had been around forever. So if that was the case, and they'll never say whether it was or not.
No, they'll never say anything.
But if that was the case, then I can justify it that way.
I don't give this front office any benefit of the doubt ever.
No, that's completely acceptable because they have no.
They don't deserve it. They do not deserve it. They took a team who 3 years ago was picked to win the world, maybe in the World Series. Remember, was it after that Field of Dreams game when Tim Anderson hit the game-winning home run? I mean,
3 years ago today, actually. Yep, I saw it 3 years ago today.
And now Tim Anderson's not even in baseball.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. A little more positive news. The Sky are back this week. I think there was like a 3-week hiatus for the WNBA. They are coming out of the All-Star / Olympic break. 10-14. They play Thursday against the Phoenix Mercury. So it'll be kind of interesting to see if they can make that second half push to be a playoff team. And unfortunately, I can't remember the exact details, but they did make a trade last week for some draft picks.
They made a trade at the beginning, right before the break, or right at the beginning of the break for the Olympics.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see that 10-14. I mean, they're right there below 500, but I mean, still just insanely young, racking up more draft picks.
The White Sox game, take that money, Go to the Sky game.
Yeah, seriously, nice arena. It's air conditioned, So, and Angel Reese plays there, so at least it'd be fun to watch. So, yeah, they start back up on Thursday. I'm kind of excited to see if they're going to make that push
I'm kind
here.
of excited for the WNBA to get back into it because I like basketball and it's fun.
Yeah, it's been a great WNBA season, with all the rookies and everything kind of heating up, and then coming off the Olympic break too. It'll at least be fun to watch.
This 3-on-3 basketball's got to go.
Disagree. Hard disagree.
Bad. I think dude, they're bringing the ball back to the 3-point line. I think that they should go full court.
I think they need to. You know how when you have to play it to the volleyball line, like the volleyball spiking line.
Yeah, but I mean,
something
it's an
like that.
Sport. They should go full court. I know maybe it'll look weird.
And also let the guys and girls that didn't make their country's team, let them play in the 3-on-3. I think the rule was you couldn't.
No, we got NBA players. We got to dominate this. We got to get some NBA players.
Yeah, imagine if they were able to throw, 3 guys that were just on the cusp of making the.
Take the worst 3 players in the Bulls lineup. We take those guys over there. We're winning.
Yep, 100%. Anybody.
Let NBA players do it. G League players, maybe.
Yep, I agree. It was cool to see Jimmer, but then he got hurt in the second game. So
I feel like, oh God, Jimmer. Jimmer played basketball for BYU 10 years ago?
Yeah, not more than that. 2012, I think.
And guess what? I hate to be this way. There's a reason why he's really never been in the NBA.
All right, you better tread lightly when you're talking about Jimmer like that, though.
But I'm just saying, we're talking about him Jimmer Fredette's in the 3-on-3 team. We're gonna win it all.
Yeah, well, Canyon Barry, who I like a lot too.
Netherlands.
Yeah.
The other thing they gotta fix is, okay, you have an injury and then you're just screwed the rest of the time.
Yeah, because you have one sub.
We gotta have some injury subs.
They have one.
Yeah, and then 2 guys got hurt, and then you're screwed.
Yeah. It was bad.
That one against the Netherlands, that was awful.
Yeah, was it 21-6?
Yeah, the Netherlands should never beat us in basketball like
that. No. Before we move on, do we want to talk Team USA really quick, men's basketball?
Sure.
All right. I'll just say, the fact that team persevered the way they did, and everybody was, the dream team never had a close game. International basketball is some of the most compelling basketball you can ever watch when there's the way that men's and women's basketball has kind of evolved in the last 30 years. That semifinal game versus Serbia was the most pumped I've been watching a basketball game in a very long time.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was so fun. And then France gave them a good game in the title, men's and women's. I'm tired of hearing about the Jason Tatum stuff. It was compelling as hell.
I'm not trying to be a hater on LeBron James. How did Steph Curry not get that MVP? Come on.
Yeah, I love LeBron James, and I completely agree with you.
That's crazy. I agree. They're not winning that second game without him.
Yeah,
maybe not winning the game against Serbia either.
Well, yeah, he had 36 against Serbia. It probably went off of the group stage games where LeBron played insanely well.
But tired of hearing. What did Jason Tatum
Oh my play? God,
dude! Halliburton didn't play any time either, and he didn't care. Dude, give me first of all, Jason Tatum just won the NBA Finals, so he played the most basketball out of anybody on the team. And there is a 12-man roster, right? Dude, you're not going to play everybody.
Yeah, and also the games are shorter. Steve Kerr even said it. The games are 40 minutes compared to 48 in the NBA.
Oh, they're being mean to him. Dude, no, they had Steph Curry, LeBron James. Come on.
Yeah, and that's the art. You're going to play him more than Kevin Durant?
KD?
Yeah, you're out of your mind. You're going to play more than LeBron or Kevin Durant? That's insane.
And if Jason Tatum ever actually comes, he never has, but if he comes out and complains about it, take the gold medal away.
Yeah, I like that.
Get the gold medal.
The thing is in 4 years, when it's in LA, he's going to be back on the team. I guarantee it.
He'll be in the next at least 2 Olympics, I think.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's in LA in 2028.
He has literally come out and said, "This is the only Olympics I'm going to be in."
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is LeBron's last one. If this is KD's last one,
he'll do it. I mean, that's 4 years from now. LeBron will be 40.
No, LeBron will be 43 or 44. He's 40 right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, maybe they'll play if like none of them are hurt or anything, and see how but that's 4 years away. Like Jason Tatum is for sure going to be on that team.
100%. I saw some of the hypothetical rosters for 2028. I'm so excited,
dude. But like, it's just annoying. Like Halliburton didn't play either. He got a gold medal. Edwards. He didn't play a lot that much.
Yep.
Still got a gold medal. You're like, come on.
Yep, 100%.
You get to watch Steph Curry do something amazing there.
Yeah, we got arguably one of the coolest shots we've ever seen in that step back three to end the game.
I didn't realize though it was his only one he's ever been in, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. So it was pretty sick. I really enjoyed the last 2 weeks watching men's and women. I watched way too much Olympics as it was. So, but before we move on,
it's cool though that it'll be in USA. That'll be fun.
100%. Maybe a little TCF road trip. Maybe take the little guy out to LA.
We weren't the age to really care about it when it was here last.
Oh yeah, 100%. I was 5. You weren't born.
The World Cup is cool too.
Yeah, I agree. Good times. But before we move on, big shout out to our friends over at Connect Roasters Coffee. They make the best coffee around that you are going to find. I promise you that. They work with Dom Frederick. They work with Ian Happ. So you know it's good quality coffee. Make sure you check out their website, connectroasters.com. You can find them on X at Connect Roasters. If you're down in Bourbonnais, make sure you get to their storefront, get you some coffee, get you some grounds to go, get you some merch. Whatever you need, they have it. I promise you will not regret checking out our friends over at Connect Roasters Coffee. So as always, a big shout out to our friends over in Bourbonnais at Connect Roasters. We're going to jump into our Bears preview. 2 games into the preseason, 2-0. So the first question I have for you, Zach, are you buying into the hype? Are you with Big Cat? You're fully in. Caleb Williams is the savior. Are you all in, or are you still a little hesitant?
But he looks like he knows what he's doing out there. He looks confident. He looks like he's reading the wide receivers. He knows what's going on. I mean, it was 1 quarter. You don't really know, but I got enough that I think that like some of the throws he made were awesome. It's gonna be fun. I think we got a good quarterback. You never know. It takes multiple seasons to realize what a real quarterback is, but I think you saw that he knows how to play quarterback. I guess that's you haven't seen him. What was it?
Competency.
Like over 200 days since he had played a football game, because I don't think he played the last few games of the UFC season. I don't think he played the bowl game for sure.
Yeah, I know he didn't play the bowl game.
It's just nice to see him out there playing basketball, playing football, and DJ Moore making catches. Everyone out there, it's just nice to see him playing football. Like you wanted to see him play in the Hall of Fame game, but I guess you understand why he didn't. That's already happened. You can't go back and do it over. So he played the 1 quarter. The defense looked good. Swift looked good. The running backs look good. I mean, you don't know, but it's fun to watch. It's fun to win.
So, like, realistic expectations out of this team, I think the over-under set at 9.5 wins. Where are you feeling on that?
I want to be over 500. That's what
I think that's completely reasonable.
I don't want to. Over 500 is you're in a wild card spot for sure.
Yep. Yeah, you're at least chasing something. You know,
I'm not saying you're gonna. What would over 500 be like?
It would be 9-8.
9-8. That's fine by me.
Yep. I think that like a lot of thing that gets lost is like the fact that like this division is going to be very good. I mean, and the Vikings are going to be down, but like I still think the Vikings are rebuilding something there pretty nice. I mean, I think they did a good job in the draft. I don't think the Vikings will be a bottom 5 team in the NFL, but I also don't see them competing for a wild card spot. Like the Packers are going to be good. The Lions are going to be good.
Well, it's not but you don't want to be average this season, but we got some of these guys for 4 years now. DJ Moore is here for 6 years. We got Caleb Williams under control for 5 years. You got
And is
to look at the
there any
long
bit
run
of
here.
you that like sees what you went through in the past with Mitch and with Justin Fields, and even in a completely different sport, like the expectations that were set of the White Sox back in 2018,
I
19?
love Justin Fields, though. You already saw it in his first preseason game with the Steelers. He looked good, ran a little bit.
2 fumbles, though.
2 fumbles. He can't hold the ball.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing you see out of Caleb, too, was he was getting rid of the ball when he knew it wasn't there. He made that one throw to Swift was awesome.
And like, I think that's like the one thing that like, and don't get me wrong, I would be the exact same way, but like when people see that, it's like the play that Caleb made on 3rd down to Kmet there in, I think it was first or second drive. Beautiful play. But like, he's also probably going to have some of those moments as a rookie where it's like, what the hell was this kid thinking? He's going to throw into double coverage.
That play actually confused the camera.
Yeah, it did. But it's like, you know what I mean? Like, there's going to be plays and there's going to be times. There's probably even going to be games where he just looks bad, and that's okay.
I think he's a confident enough quarterback that he's going to do things that maybe could be an interception every once in a while and stuff like that. You got to know that the talent is there for sure.
And you got to let it rip, like he's going to throw intercept. Look at, Peyton Manning set the record for like 28 interceptions his rookie year. I think things panned out okay.
Peyton Manning also didn't have the wide receiver. I mean, he's got DJ Moore.
And he had no line either.
Roma Dunze. I mean, he's got some guys that we got a rookie in Roma Dunze, and he's got a veteran in Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. It's like, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I think that's a realistic thing to say. There's obviously people that are, have been torched and say that it's not going to work and it never works.
I'm kind of annoyed that they don't play in week 1. It's like, you're going to give them 10 weeks of preparation to play football. Like, you would have liked to see them a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
One time that they do it later in the season.
Yep. I'm excited. We'll get deeper into our full NFL preview next week. Obviously, we'll have
2 weeks, 2 preseason games left.
Usually, I can't remember the night, but it's the week of my birthday. I want to say it's right around September 10th is usually the first game, so somewhere in there. But we'll get a full preview. We'll do our way too early predictions for the season next week. But where they sit right now, you got to be happy. I mean, and this is even coming from a Packers fan. Like there's hope there, and where there's hope, there's positivity, and I feel like you're in a good spot right now.
Yeah, Hard Knocks would be fun to watch.
Speaking of that, you watched the episode of Hard Knocks. What'd you think? I've never seen an episode.
To watch, but it's like you just know so much about it. It's fun to see the behind the scenes stuff. Like, you knew about DJ Moore getting an extension. You knew all that kind of stuff.
And they're not going to give away like state secrets. So I think the people that were expecting like this insane behind the scenes, like holy cow stuff. I
think it's going to be a lot more exciting when Caleb Williams actually plays.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot more to talk about instead of talking about Brett Rippon, who did get screwed, man. He got screwed. He was going to play the whole 4th quarter, and then they called the game.
Yeah, that's tough. Go all the way out to Ohio and then just not get to see the field.
He's trying to make a name for himself in a way and let some teams see him play, and he had his chance, and it just rained.
Yep, exactly. So,
before we get into it, though, before we go to college, Cubs 8-8 right now.
Let's go. There's the update we needed. But like Zach said, we're going to jump into some college football. The AP coaches poll came out today. I'll go through this here real quick. And then after I'm done, we're going to pick who's going to make the college football adjusted playoff this year. We got 12 teams this year. So I'm very excited for this. Real quick, starting at the top, it goes Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon in the top 3. Texas at 4, Bama at 5, Ole Miss at 6, Notre Dame at 7, Penn State at 8, Michigan 9, Florida State 10. And then after that, I'll just go down this list quickly here. Florida State, Missouri, Utah, LSU, Clemson, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Miami, Texas A&M, Arizona, Kansas, USC, NC State, and Iowa. A lot of heavy hitters there. And there's also some teams in that list that I think are going to go the opposite way and maybe not even finish the season in the top 25. But Very excited for the. Do you like that they went to the 12-team playoff?
Yes, I love it. I think it's gonna be so much more exciting.
Yeah, I just think that the more
I
opportunity.
really think that it's gonna give some teams more reason to play too.
Yes,
You're
exactly.
gonna be making your schedules a lot harder now.
Right, because you're gonna have to for the strength of the schedule and all that good stuff. So let me here real quick. There's like a formula for the playoffs that's a little different, and not in a sense of like it's completely off the wall, but I want to say there's like different league champions get into certain games, and then there's at-large bids that are there. So of those top 12 teams that I just went through, I know I went through all 25, but what are those teams in the top 12 that you don't think are going to make the playoffs?
Michigan. I think it's gonna be a
I like
letdown
that.
year for Michigan. I just think there's a lot going on right now. New coach. It's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna work out this season. Documentary
And also,
coming
like,
out.
there's something to be said in that, like, remember the Big Ten this year, in that top 12 right now, they have Ohio State, Oregon, right? Oregon's in the Big Ten now.
It's crazy. It's just weird to think about.
Penn State, Michigan are all in the Big Ten. I don't think they're going to have 4 teams make it. I think
Iowa's at 25 too.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, and I don't think they're going to let 4 Big Ten teams in.
No, and I just see them having a letdown year.
I agree with you. I think Michigan and Penn State might not make the top 12.
I know it's easy to say that because of what's going on, but I mean that's real. I mean, you just went from Jim Harbaugh to I don't even know who their coach is now.
It was the assistant.
I can't
remember the guy's name. Not Connor Stallions.
The guy who cried.
Yeah. So who do you think? So if we both have 2, I've got 2 teams. You've got 1. Who are some maybe sleepers you're thinking can sneak into that top 12 and make the playoff?
From the 25 or just, I guess, yeah, it had to be the 25.
Yeah. I guess not necessarily.
I can see Kansas being good and being in a good spot.
Dude, I was going to say that too.
I mean, Kansas is always fun to watch, I feel like. They go Lindenwood, Illinois, UNLV, West Virginia, TCU, Arizona State, Houston, and they play Kansas State. They play one ranked opponent all year, as of right now.
Yeah. I've got one other one that I kind of like, and then I got a couple long shots here. Kansas State, I think, is going to have a really big year. They finished last year off really well. And then also my 2 long shots here, UTSA and Tulane. UTSA plays in a pretty weak conference, and Tulane had an incredible year last year. I'm very excited to see if those 2 teams, especially in the first year of having 12 teams in the playoff, if the NCAA will allow one of those teams in.
Sorry, Cubs just made bad air.
I'm also curious.
You're going to see a lot of teams, though, that, like, for some reason you thought we're like not going to make it or whatever. And now people are working hard now because they know if you're in a certain conference, you have a chance to be that top 12 now.
Yep, exactly. Like, remember the years where NIU made the Orange Bowl, then a couple years after that, Western Michigan had an undefeated season. Like, what are they going to do when?
Love for Clemson to be awful. Love it.
Yep. I also
my other season against Georgia too. I hope they beat them by like 70.
Yep, I agree. I can't stand Dabo Swinney. The other team I think that has a chance to make some noise. They are in the top 25, but Tennessee I think is going to be incredible.
I was thinking the same thing.
I really like
what they're doing there. I think Tennessee. Who was the quarterback that they had that got drafted?
Milton.
Yeah, he brought the program up, and I think this year they're going to be good.
Yes, I'm very excited to see what they look like.
Also, I think USC is not going to be in the top 25 at the end of the year.
Lincoln Riley, though.
Lincoln Riley has been not a fan.
I don't know. I think he's a pretty damn good coach, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Cubs blew it.
God dang it. It's over.
No, it's 9-8.
9-8. All right. Well, let's talk about some positive things, and that's the Carnival. We're going to do the TCF. It's actually top 4, not top 3. We're going a little different here, inspired by the
Yeah, we
Mendota
just
Sweet
had
Corn.
the Sweet Corn Festival in Mendota, which is like the biggest thing to happen here every year.
Yep.
So we're fresh off of carnivals.
Yep, absolutely. Spent way too much time, way too many calories, way too much money up there this weekend. So how this is going to work, we have 4 categories, 1 ride, go back to your childhood, pick the ride that you like the most, 1 carnival game, a food, and a dessert. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to, Zach?
I'll go first. I'm going Zipper. The Zipper was awesome. I mean,
I knew you were going
I
to
don't
do
think I
that.
could fit in there now, and you actually think about it, that's awful, but like it was so much fun.
I don't disagree with you at all.
You think about you're locked in a cage and you're just being flipped. I mean,
I think the Sweet Corn Fest between my like 6th and 7th grade year, or 7th and 8th grade year, I think I rode the Zipper like 25 times in 2 days. The absolute best. I will take my second favorite ride there, and that's the Gravitron, where they spin you so fast and you're like climbing up the walls.
oh my God, and your face is like,
Yeah, and you're like trying to move and process, but you can't really move. I'll go with that. That was a good one. My what do I want to go second round here? I'm going to take my dessert in the second round, and I'm going to go deep fried Oreos, because deep fried Oreos are some of the greatest things I've ever eaten. I did get another deep fried candy bar. I won't say it in case you do. But deep fried Oreos, every carnival I go to, there's also another one here in town in a couple weeks, and I usually just go up there to get deep fried Oreos. So that is one of my all-time favorites. So that'll be my second round pick.
So my food, pulled pork nachos. Those
good choice.
Seem like they're always at carnivals.
Here's my thing on that, and we're going to disagree till we're blue in the face. I'm not the biggest nacho guy, and I'm cooled a little bit on pulled pork. I think I've had too much of it in the last couple of years.
That's a
bad
take too.
Yeah, it is what it is. I am what I am. All right, I've got some wild takes, but I'm thinking of the place at the Mendota Sweet Corn Fest at the corner. They have a yellow tent, and they make some of the best pulled pork nachos. My wife gets them every year. Those are pretty solid. I'll give you those.
For dessert, can I say lemon shake up as like a dessert?
I'll give it to you. Yeah,
the lemon shake ups are amazing.
Yeah.
You don't like them?
I like them. I don't feel that their increasing cost has equaled
that's everything though.
The quality you get.
I'm not gonna say. Oh, you already said dessert, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't say like elephant ears, because that's just so basic.
Elephant ears are fire. Funnel cake is fire.
They can also be bad too.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Zach. I had a deep fried Snickers bar yesterday, and felt the diabetes coming on, dude. Blood sugar rushed. It was incredible, though. It was amazing. I know you don't see it very regularly, so I couldn't take it here, but the best deep fried snack I've ever had at a carnival was a deep fried Uncrustable.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, buddy. I'm telling you. And it had like a strawberry jam on top with some powdered sugar.
That sounds like a heart attack.
Oh, dude, it was incredible. For my See, and like food is all over the place because everybody's different. Like everybody's got something different now, and it's more like food trucky stuff. So like it might not be as traditional. So I don't know how I feel about where I'm going to go with my food. So I'll go game, and I'll make this one easy. It's the dart balloon pop.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where they got the wall of balloons and you got to hit them with a dart.
Yep.
And it's probably because when we first moved here to Mendota, I was like 8 or 9. And at the time, if you pop 3 of them with the 5 darts, you got like posters. And I remember one year, your sister, my sister, and me just ran through that place. And by the end of the weekend, we had like 12 posters for each of us. They weren't big. They were maybe like a 12 by 12 thing, In Sync, Backstreet Boys, anything you could think of. We were just cleaning up on little crappy posters because we could pop balloons with darts. That was a good weekend.
You got one more, right?
Oh, I do. So I do have to go with my food here. See, I feel like the one I want to take, because it's the one I eat the most, isn't necessarily like a carnival food, but I'm gonna go with street tacos. Do you allow that?
It's very good.
And it's like where we live is so many
Carnival.
different variations of them and so many different meats and the way they do it. But you get, especially if you get
like that. Even like if you got a funnel cake, they make how many different kind of funnel cakes?
Right. I'll go with street tacos. That's my favorite thing up at the fair. And special little shout out this year. There was an egg roll for this kind of small business shout out here, but there's a place out of Depew. They have a truck, and the thing we ate the most this year was Nayo's egg rolls. I think between me and my wife, we probably ate 16 to 20 egg rolls because they were like the slim ones. But holy cow, were they good. I know at one point in 2 days, we placed 2 10 egg roll orders. So shout out to Nayo's.
My game, I don't know what it's called, but the one where you sit there and you squirt the water.
Yeah, the water gun game.
I mean, that game gets intense, and you can play like 6 people at a time.
Yep, that is a good one.
I don't know what it's just water squirter.
Yeah, we'll go with it. Water squirt. Yeah.
I mean, dude, you can have. They usually have like 5 or 6 of the things that squirt the water. A lot of people can play at one time and can be fun.
Do you remember the one? I think they've gotten away with it in the last couple of years, but they used to have like the airsoft gun and you had to shoot the star target.
Yeah, that one. And then like the little airsoft gun would be sitting there and like you could easily just like mess around with it.
Aim it at your idiot friends.
Yeah, I didn't walk around this year very much, but I don't think they allow that anymore.
The other one,
carnivals are crazy too.
I always enjoyed the fish bowl where you could throw the ping pong ball and get a little fish.
People would always think, "Oh, you like the basketball one," but if you think about it, like, dude, those rims are so tight; it's so hard.
Yeah,
if you've ever played basketball in your life, people are just like, "Oh, you're good at this game."
Yeah, no. And the fact that we like knew it was rigged when we were like 10 years old shows you how poorly it was rigged.
You just know.
What else did you any honorable mentions you had on the list?
I wasn't really a ride guy.
I'll tell you what though, I always enjoyed the big giant slide.
Oh yeah, that's fun. But you have to walk to the top is always wild.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
Tilt-A-Whirl was a good time.
Yeah.
What about food? We could go on forever about food and dessert. I kind of already have. I've talked about like 10 different things so far.
Especially nowadays, there's so many different kind of vendors at like carnivals and stuff.
I'm telling you what, this one place, that was like a smokehouse, like a mobile smokehouse, and they had a jalapeno cheddar smoked bratwurst, and it was one of the greatest things I've eaten in a very long time. So I don't remember the name of the place, but it was incredible. And I noticed it because it's like there's also like a vendor fair going on during the Sweet Corn Fest. I am just way too into freeze-dried candies. I bought so much freeze-dried candy, and I love them.
Everything. I heard freeze-dried Skittles are very good.
Oh, I got a thing of freeze-dried Skittles out there. They had freeze-dried oatmeal cream pies. I didn't try those, but I need to try those. Peach rings. What else did I get? Freeze-dried.
Peach rings are underrated.
Dude, and the freeze-dried ones are insane. They're so good. But I feel like I tried a little bit of everything. Oh, I also had some gumbo this weekend, some seafood gumbo from a vendor. So like, it's not like a traditional carnival thing, but it was fire. So
it's there.
And then obviously sweet corn.
Yeah.
Can't beat it.
Stay in line for 2 hours for some corn.
Yeah, when you could pay $3 and not have to wait at all. Doesn't make any sense to me, but to each their own, man. Let us know what we missed, what you guys like, but it is good being back, episode 230. We appreciate you guys checking in. We will make sure we're back a little more regularly after some time off. Lot to catch up on, obviously. Big NFL preview next week, looking at the last month or so of the baseball season, so make sure you come back. What'd you say?
Cubs just lost.
Cubs are now 59-61, fixing my
Waste of a
mistake
game.
from earlier.
You watch the game, Dansby Swanson, air, ruin the game. Honestly.
We'll talk more about this next week. But we appreciate you guys as always, man. It's episode 230. You find us on X at @typical_Chicago, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Wherever you get your podcasts, we are there. Wherever you consume your media, check us out there. Make sure you check out our friends over at Connect Roasters. You can find me on X at BoomyTCF, Zach at ZLiliaTCF. Give Maddie a follow as well at schools_01. As always, we appreciate you guys checking in. We will see you next week. That was episode 230 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.